Take 2 with Leonard. You might have to move Leonard. Today, I'm going to walk you through some of my favorite posts that I've made this week and tell you what I've learned and how I've grown, and then also highlight some of my other favorite creators and what they've posted and how it's inspired me. Stay tuned to the end to see who's featured. The first thing I want to show you guys today is this post that I titled Something's Burning. I'm really proud of myself for the shoot for a couple reasons. I don't shoot with a lot of colorful light because in the past I've used it and I didn't like it and I overexposed everything. This time I did not overexpose it and I actually really loved it and it inspired me to work with it more. And 2, I worked with a color that I usually hate and don't like, which is the color red. I'm kind of obsessed with how these pictures turned out, especially the second one. I think that's just like a really cool photo. I made it very blurry and I spun it and it's one of my favorite shots I've taken in the past like couple months, if not the whole year. Very much a sleigh, very much fun. I learned a lot. Also, this picture is incredible. I don't even think she knew I was taking a picture. She's just pretty and amazing, and the wind caught her hair and it was a paid actor, so that was fun. And I just loved it. And I styled it very different than something I would normally style as well, which is gonna bring me into my second photo shoot that I wanted to talk to you guys about, which is Healing Hearts. I am so proud of how I styled this one. I don't normally style things in this kind of like way. I normally style everybody in the same color or the exact same outfit or something like that. For this shoot, I styled everybody in different outfits, in different colors, and I tried to make them all complementary to each other. I also tried to make everybody's outfit unique in its own way, which I thought was really fun, and it ended up being some of my favorite photos I have ever taken, and I just love it. I shot these in direct sun. It was like noon, and it was bright as hell. I just love how these turned out. I love the editing. I love that I got to shoot in direct sun and play around with that because I have a really hard time being confident with myself in direct sun. Every time I shoot in direct sun and then get the pictures back and I edit them, I'm really proud of them, but then later in life when I go to shoot in direct sun again, I psych myself out and I'm like, oh my god, I can't do it, it's horrible, but then I do it and it's great. That's what happened here too, is I told myself it was gonna suck and then it didn't, and I'm just obsessed. I also did some posing that I'm normally scared to do because I think it's gonna be too boring. Like this picture here is just them all standing, not even looking at me, doing nothing. I think it's pretty, but sometimes I tell myself that other people will think it's boring because they're not doing enough. It turned out to be one of my favorite pictures of the whole shoot, and I absolutely loved it. Just doing little candid shots that I don't normally do too, but making them more editorial, like this one over here. We weren't even posing for that. That wasn't a pose. We were all just like in between poses talking, and I saw that and grabbed it, and I thought it was really cute. I love it. Other shoot I'm going to show you, I called it Film Grain, was something that I was really proud of because and this was not this week, I want to talk about it because it's my first episode, so I can go back wherever I want. This shoot was really, really hard because we ended up going to 3 different locations before it ended up working. And if you know me, I have anxiety. And so after the first location didn't work, I was already anxious. And then when the second location, we got kicked out of the second location, I was almost panicking on the way to the third location. But I pulled it together and I calmed down and I ended up shooting some of my favorite pictures I've ever shot there. It was my first time working with the car rental people, Kitty, who's like so nice and sweet. I had such a great time and I did some really fun stuff. I did some blurry shots. I did some different angles that I normally do, and I just had a good time. So I'm really proud of myself for working through that kind of stuff and getting some really cool artistic images and making do with what was not a fun situation. The other shoot that I wanted to talk to you guys about that I'm really proud of and I think is really cool is Seaside, because this shoot, again, this one made me super freaking anxious. I was so anxious the whole time I was doing this because I thought we were gonna get kicked out because I took 2 giant sheets of drywall onto the beach, cut a hole in it and set it up and just started taking pictures at a public beach, which, if you know anything about public places and like parks and things like that, they don't like it when you're obnoxious, and this is very obnoxious. But we didn't get kicked out, and it was very fun, and I really enjoyed it. I loved the model for this. I picked her because she had really, really blue eyes, and I wanted the makeup and her eyes to like highlight the ocean and the other blue things we were using. I was super proud of the prop we had, this little plastic Louis Vuitton bag, which I made out of a fish bag from like a pet supply store, and then stickers I bought on Amazon, and it was just super freaking cute, and I just loved it. It was a really fun time. I pushed myself a lot, and I worked with something I've never worked with before, and it turned out really cool, and I made GIFs, and I did funky angles, and I just really pushed myself. So I'm proud of that one. Pushed myself with prompts. I pushed myself with makeup. I pushed myself with like unique different things and I'm just happy with it. Benjamin, have a cookie. Also, you guys, I don't know if it's going to be in the video. Shout out to Danny for getting this adorable little mug. Oh my god. Hello? Do you need something? No, you're not going to eat a cookie. Go. I feel like I'm doing ASMR. The mouth sounds. I hate mouth sounds. What is with you? Do you need something? He wants the little mushroom mug. Why do you act like you've never seen me use a mug before? What a little slap. Okay. Cookie break is over. Now let's go look at the other posts that I have that I want to highlight this week that are not my own, and check out those featured artists. My favorite post, number one, is actually barely from this week. It is incredible, and when I saw it, I literally gasped out loud and showed like 3 of my friends because it's just so freaking cool. Captured by Ginny is one of my favorite creators on Instagram. They do not have a following count that matches their talent level and their skill. They're incredible. And this little editorial that they did, it's like a denim editorial, literally blew me away. It's so freaking fun and it's so cool. I just loved everything. And the first shot that they got with all of the ropes tied around that model with denim hanging off of it was just so freaking eye-catching and fun and cool. I loved it. Everything about it was like the inclusivity of them all, styling and the location and the posing. I just loved it. And there were so many like versatile shots as well, which I absolutely loved. That's number one. Number two is this post by Tiana Michele Photo. If I'm saying your name wrong, I apologize. She did this really high fashion, weird, funky, like jester photo shoot that I am just like blown away by. It's so high fashion. It's so weird. I love the makeup. The model killed it. All the posing, the editing, the styling of this is just so cool. And I think that she's using like a lens that stretches out the model a little bit too because her legs look really elongated. And I'm just obsessed. Everyone on this team killed it. The makeup, the model, everything. I love. And that's just like really unique. Like this inspired me to try something like that. I don't know if I will, but when I saw this, I felt inspired. I love that. I think it's really cool. The third one I want to show you guys is called A Girl and Her Potions. It's by Carly V. She's from Sacramento, California. I love her. She came to one of my content events the beginning of this year. She did this cute little like styled photo shoot that I think is really funky and weird, and it's so her, but also like a little bit like it feels like her but also not like her. And I love the makeup she used because a lot of the time I see people doing really trendy things. They don't want to be looked at as weird, or they don't want to come across as like not like pretty, if that makes sense. Not that this isn't pretty. This eye makeup is so freaking weird and I love it. It's like editorial and strange, and I love everything about these. It's simple, but it's like still eye-catching enough. I love that she did this little like in focus and blurry moments. I think it's really fun. Yeah, I just love it. I think this is really cool, and I love the shirt she has, and like everything about this is just really cool and fun and unique, and it's easy, and it's something other people can do things inspired by, which I always love. Make their own. And I also love that she used a brown backdrop because that would not have been my first choice. I think I would have probably used a white one, but the brown actually makes everything pop in a different way and complements it in a different way, which I just love. And it makes me think differently about how I style things and how I pose things and how I do color, because I would not have thought of that, but it looks amazing and it absolutely added to the shoot. So 10 out of 10. Last one that I saw was from my friend Dreamily Portraits. She is amazing. She did this little maternity photo shoot, which if you guys know me, I do a lot of like creative stuff, but it's really hard to find people who want to do creative maternity stuff. And this maternity session was freaking awesome. She like covered this girl in paint, and it's just so, she feels very French, like the hairstyle and everything. And it's so cute, creative and unique and fun. And I just thought it deserved a place in this video, and I love it. And the editing was everything. Location is everything. I love how she did this shot with her eye. Some people will like over edit eyes. Dreamily Portraits never does. I can tell she does edit them and she makes them pop, but they're not like so edited that they look fake, if that makes sense. And I love that. And I also love that they didn't go shy with like the paint. The paint is everywhere. It's in her hair and it's on her everything, her face. It still is like cute and you can still see her face and it's not overdone, but it also doesn't look like they went too sparse with it. So I just loved that and it was really fun and it inspired me too. I really want to do another paint shoot. I've done one before, but I want to do it again. And I think I probably will because of this. And I love the colors they used. So that was episode 1 and this week's version of my favorite shots of the week. I hope you guys liked it. Come back next week to see who else is featured. Go show some love to the people that I featured this week. I hope you learned something. I'll talk to you soon. Today, I'm gonna blip, 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 blip. And then my final thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about, my other favorite shoot that I've done this week. You're hurting me. You're hurting me. Ow. Please go away. I know it's dumb, but it's the insecurity and the anxiety I have.
I get that.